I feel something strange and wonderful when I hear it, when I speak it, when I live Yiddish. But a lot of it for me is, because that's just who I am, is the literature. The Yiddish has some of the most rich and vibrant and emotive literature in the world. And folklore, literature and folklore are the two things for me. Like, folkloric literature is the one thing for me that I cannot get enough of. And Yiddish culture, I mean Jewish culture to a certain extent, but Yiddish more so, I think, has just such a vibrant and beautiful folklore. And it's something, every time I read a book in translation, regardless of the language, I have this desperate desire to read it in the original. Like the first time I read, I don't know, Anna Karenina or Proust, for example, I just, something in me died a little inside because I couldn't read it in the original language. But with Yiddish, I had the means available to me, and the first time I read a story in Yiddish, the first time I read a whole story myself was by Nacht, at night, by David Bergelson. And I remember reading it in English a couple of days before, and then reading it in Yiddish, and it was just, like, I can't explain how I felt then. It was amazing. David Bergelson is my favorite Yiddish author. He describes an experience, through the 1910s, teens and 20s and 30s in Eastern Europe, Russia and Germany and things, that we hear about a lot of history, but he describes it through fiction, but he describes it with such beautiful and emotive language and expressionism at its finest. Like, there's something in it that calls to me. It sounds really cliche to say, but I mean, that story basically is about this person who's riding on a train and can't sleep, a train at night, and he's looking around the train, and then there's this old guy who reminds him of someone. He doesn't sleep, and this old guy starts talking to a restless sort of young man next to him, and the young man's like, "Oh, I can't sleep. What do I do?" And he says, "Study." And the boy says, "But I can't read." It says, and then the man says, it's very short, it's like 3 or 4 pages long. The man says, "Just repeat after me." And he starts repeating the story of the flood. And then, I mean, I did a couple essays on this story, and the whole thing is like this beautiful sort of poetic metaphor for the state of, Russia, the Soviet Union, the world, Judaism as well. And it ends with the line, and by the grace of Noah, the world was saved. I mean, it's a horrible translation of the beautiful Yiddish, but, and I mean, there was just something in that story that, like, this sort of desolate and bleak wasteland, this sort of horrible train with people in cardboard shoes, and there are these just two Jewish men sitting there, finding hope in a story that's 5,000 years old, It's just, like, I don't know how to explain how I feel about that. It's just hard. There's something ineffable and intangible about it for me.